talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
We're joined today by Susie Falk with the Falk Group Public Relations, and Jeff Wagner is back. It is considered a national epidemic. Aging prisoners and the medical cost of inmates in prison hospitals could result in money being borrowed from other areas of government, and that, of course, would affect all of us. I think the cost to maintain prisoners, medical included, has been a topic, an issue for quite a while. It's been a dilemma, along with the overcrowding in prisons.
Well, it is. Now, the flip side is, okay, so you release people that have medical issues. Well, the taxpayer is going to be paying for the medical issues anyways. I mean, here's the problem. Okay, Charles Manson, really old. Do you want to parole him? Do you want to take that 75-year-old child rapist and parole him, let him out because, well, they're 75 years old, they've got health issues, and then 6 months later, they've molested another child? I mean, do you really want to have that happen? That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, and I think that maybe we need to look at whether they're nonviolent offenders, why are they in prison, and have they served their time? And maybe we could have some sort of an age limit if they've done their 10 years or 12 years or 62. It's time to let them out. Not that they won't cost us anything; they will cost us something. But I don't know. The healthcare system is overwrought with us, let alone add prisoners to that. It's just very expensive, and now all these prisoners are aging. It's a hard spot to be in. But I don't know. You see Shawshank Redemption. I do feel sorry for them.
What do you do though when you have a population in prison that's equivalent to a medium-sized state in this country? They need to be paid for.
Well, yeah, there's no question about it. And then you also have to balance the idea of trying to predict. Okay, the guy's 65 years old. He's been in jail for the last 30 years, committed all sorts of violent crimes. Do we release him into society figuring he's rehabilitated, or at the age of 65 he's different than he was at the age of 35?
That's a gamble, too.
Right. Do we take the risk? Because, again, you make that mistake. You let that person out and they do something really horrible. Well, okay, that ends political careers. That ends government careers. That's the balance.
And this is why nobody's made a decision.
Right, because it's more expensive, but it's easier to keep them incarcerated.
Yeah.
Or it's extraordinarily complicated.
All right, coming up next.
More of What's Hot.
Somebody needs to. Again, we're joined by Susie Falk and Jeff Wagner from Newsradio 620 WTMJ. A diner owner is bringing racism to light in Britain. She put up a sign that says she's a black woman and she doesn't bite.
Yeah, she says she's fed up with people walking out of her restaurant when they see the color of her skin. Apparently, she had someone else serve the customers who was white, and they did really well. And then she went out and served customers, and they didn't make as much money, and people were leaving and that kind of a thing.
Maybe she's just not a nice person.
Well, it's nice to see her diffuse it ahead of time, but it's sad that she has to.
Yeah, I guess, I think two things. First of all, obviously, if the food is good, who cares?
Right.
But who cares who's cooking? If the food is great, bring it on. But I think the other thing is that the bigger picture here is in Britain and a couple of the European countries, this is becoming more and more of the story, because for years and years there's been a lot of immigration, pretty much open things, and now this is part of the problem. As jobs get tighter, lots and lots of people are starting to act out in ways that I think would be completely and totally considered to be inappropriate. But I think this is probably more prevalent than people might think.
You can't forget, too, just a few months ago, there was a horrible Islamic incident on the streets of Britain where, the black person, unfortunately, was arrested for having hacked a white person. And, unfortunately, that's a hideous thing, but we don't understand the full extent of racism in that country.
And it's a small town. This is not London.
My guess is that there aren't a lot of black-owned restaurants in this little town, but, I wish the community would come together and just sample the food, and if it's good, visit and enjoy it. And I wish that if she could relax and just get to know her patrons, and hopefully she's a nice person and everybody will realize the food is good.
All right, third topic. There seems to be a permission slip just about for everything when it comes to your child. One parent posted such permission slip. She had to sign saying, quote, "I understand that my child may come in contact with the ground through play and activity." It also stated, "My child could get their clothes and shoes wet or dirty." Also something about while out in nature, they'll see
could see birds and animals in a new and enlightening way.
Yeah, this was a precondition to the kids being allowed to go outside and play at recess on the playground.
Well, as a teacher, I get it. I don't want to hear from 30 parents saying, "My kid came home with grass stains on their jeans today."
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Well,
I
and we're a
hear.
lawsuit-happy society, and you know, people.
So you're
fall
going to
down
sue because your kid saw a bird?
No, but you know, they come in contact with the ground, they break their leg, ankle, whatever, and there's a lawsuit, and so this gets the parents off the school's back, and probably some consultant to the school was having fun with it, thinking this is a little ridiculous, but okay, let's just throw it all out there.
When I was a kid, back in the day,
Back in the day.
we played with jarts. You know, those lawn darts
Yes.
that, you know, you'd have like the thing. My brother and I, we'd be chucking those things at each other.
No permission slips for
No
that.
permission
Right.
slips, no nothing, just go out and do that. And somehow, some way, we survived jarts. So
It is
We used to whip
interesting.
marbles at each other.
It is
and we
very
survived that.
interesting where we are as a society right now.
We had BB guns, Jeff. We
Uh-huh.
had bow and arrows, and yet we survived.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
I tell you, they're
Water
good for the grace
balloons.
of
And we
God.
came in contact with the ground.
We did.
yeah, exactly.
We'll take a break. We'll be right